Are there places that God will take you if you know Him better than others? Let's talk about it. My friends, welcome. It's breakfast time. Come on in, pull up a chair. We're getting a day started right. We're jumping in His Word. We're getting some refreshment. I believe God's got great things for you today. We've been talking about proximity to the Lord. Are there places that God will bring you or take you or bring you into that others won't get? Well, to help answer this, I wanted to go to Mark chapter 5, verse 37. Let's start there. Okay. It says, and he allowed no one to follow him except Peter and James and John, the brother of James. They came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and Jesus saw a commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly. And when he had entered, he said to them, why are you making a commotion and weeping? The child is not dead, but sleeping. And they laughed at him. But he put them all outside and took the child's father and mother and those who were with him and went in where the child was. Okay, now you're going to read the rest of this and you're going to find out Jesus provides a powerful miracle that restores life to this child. But you'll notice a couple things, that Peter, James, and John were allowed to go with Jesus. He didn't allow anybody else. And then in addition to that, he brought mom and dad. Okay. Now, there's also another aspect of this. There are those that laugh at Jesus and don't respond to Jesus. When he starts telling them, hey, don't worry about the child. He's not dead, sleeping. The crowd's like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And Jesus puts them out. He doesn't allow them to see this miracle. He doesn't allow them to see what's going on. Now, a lot of this has to do with, honestly, we could analyze the different positions of the disciples. We can analyze what their names mean. We can look at mom and dad. We can look at some of the culture here. There's a lot to suggest on why the three were there and why mom and dad were there. But I will say that there's a common denominator that we see throughout Scripture, and that is a closeness in relationship with Jesus affords different opportunities, okay? And this just simply comes from the blessing that God gives for those who know Him to draw close to Him. Just because God gives you the opportunity to know Him doesn't mean that you'll take it. It doesn't mean that you'll utilize it. It doesn't mean that you'll enjoy it. And there are many things that God has for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose that will not come to fruition if we're not willing to invest time with Him. Okay? And this is where proximity becomes a major player when it comes to our Christian maturity, because unlike personal growth in our bodies, which can simply happen overnight or happen naturally, supernatural things like our spiritual growth and all that do not happen naturally. They happen as a process of investment, okay? And so when it comes to what we're doing here, I'm not trying to in any way suggest that we are superior to one another in the time that we spend with the Lord. What I would rather point out is that if we afford the grace that's given to us by God to know Christ through His Word, through serving with Him, through loving others by Him, this will draw us close, close, close. And that really is afforded to everybody, just not everybody takes up on the offer. But the closer you are, the more that God will bring you into, the more that He can trust you over. Jesus says two things that are kind of scary. To the ones who have, more will be given. But to those who have not, even what they have will be taken away. So that's kind of a scary thing. We have all had opportunity to know the Lord. And those who know the Lord, He will lavish upon, He will draw them in. We'll have great knowledge of Him. Whereas those who do not take care of that opportunity and just reject it, they'll end up not knowing Him at all. And of course, that leads to a very, very bad end. All right, the other thing that Jesus deals with is that it's a privilege to be able to come to Him and an honor to be able to come to Him, and one that's afforded by the Lord. And so we need to take major stock in that. Jesus teaches this. He says, to whom much is given, much is required, and he who is faithful in little will be faithful in much. Bottom line, God will draw you into things that other people will not if you are valuing it and valuing a relationship with Him and drawing close to Him. You'll see that consistently in the Word, and you'll also see it in your life. So take hold of that. pursue the Lord, He will pursue you, and powerful things will be a result of that relationship. My friends, we got a couple more, and I don't want you to miss them. So until next time, God bless. My friends, Breakfast with Bradley is making a powerful difference, and you are part of that. If you would consider joining with us financially to reach more people, go to our Patreon account and sign up, and my friends, we'll make a powerful difference in all those who want to hear. Thanks for being part of us. God bless you.